In chapter 5, we focus on a form known as a worksheet. We're going to learn how to complete all 5 sections of the worksheet, as well as talk about what is the purpose of preparing a worksheet for a company. Okay? So, this new form, known as a worksheet, it's a form that companies may decide to use in order to capture the information needed to prepare their financial statements. From the worksheet, we can prepare the income statement, the statement of owner's equity, as well as the balance sheet. We're going to talk about the different sections of the worksheet. We'll first take a look at the different sections here that I'm going to highlight for you. The trial balance section, the adjustments, adjusted trial balance, the income statement, and the balance sheet. Now, first the worksheet has the heading, the who, what, and when, the name of the company. Now, the worksheet is not a formal financial statement, okay? This is a document that's used internally in order to prepare the financial statements at the end of the accounting period, okay? So the first section of the worksheet is going to be the section that lists all of the account titles that are used by the company to record their business transactions. So I'm going to look at an actual problem here. Let's see, let's go here. So we have the general ledger of the Palmer Company, and it shows the following account balances. Now prepare a worksheet. It says assume that every account has the normal debit or credit balance. So first, we must understand what that means, the normal debit or credit balance. When we say the normal balance, it is referring to the side of the account that will make the account increase. Again, normal balance refers to the side of the account that will make the account increase. For example, assets increase on the debit side. The debit side is known as their normal balance side, whereas liability accounts increase on the credit side. The credit side is known as their normal balance side. So here we have a list of accounts from the general ledger, and it shows each account's balance. Our job is to first list the account titles on the worksheet. When you list your account titles, you're going to list them in a certain order. You're going to first record all of the asset accounts, followed by your liability accounts. Next, you have your owner's equity accounts, followed by your revenue accounts. And last, you're going to list all of your expense accounts. It's the same format you've seen on the trial balance. It's the same format for the chart of account, and it's the same format for the general ledger. So I've taken the liberty to already list the account titles here on the correct order on the worksheet. So first I have my asset account, followed by my liability account, owner's equity account, my revenue account, and last I list all of my expense accounts. Okay. Now for the balances. These amounts here, we're going to record them in the trial balance section of the worksheet. You must understand which side to record them on, the debit side or the credit side. So again, if these accounts are all assets, we know the assets increase on the debit side. The debit side is going to be their normal balance side. So I'm going to record for all of my assets their amounts in the debit column. So we got 31,500, 11,500. What else we got here? 4,500, 4,100, and 45,750. Okay, so those are all of my asset accounts, and I've recorded them in the trial balance section of the worksheet on the debit side because the debit side is known as their normal balance side. We have a new account called Accumulated Appreciation that we'll discuss in a few. That account right now is blank, so I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to go down to my liability account, accounts payable, which increased on the credit side. Your revenue account increased on the credit side, and your capital account increased on the credit side, and so does the revenue account. So the 8,350, the other amount was 40,975, and the 58,500. I'm going to record them all on the credit side. Okay, I'll get down to my expenses, and we have rent expense and salary expense. And as you know, expenses have a normal balance shown on the debit side. So for rent expense, the amount is 5,300. Salary expense, that amount was, what was it? Okay, it was 5425. Now, once you recorded the amounts in the appropriate debit or credit column on the worksheet, if prepared correctly, the total of the debit side should equal the total of the credit side. And we do not balance. Teaching moment. So most likely because Excel did the work for me in the form of the calculations, I must have transposed a number. So let's check 31,500, 11,000. There it is. That should be 11,250, not 11,500. How can nobody tell if I put our own number in? Okay, so now that I put in the correct number, there we go. Both the debit and credit column equals $107,825. So we've now completed the trial balance section of the worksheet. One section down, 4 to go. The next section is known as the adjustment section. Adjustments are changes made at the end of the accounting period for unrecorded business transactions, meaning that there are certain type of transactions we do not record until the end of the accounting period. And we're going to look at some of those different types of adjustments. Okay. So if we go back to our informational sheet, this says that supplies used on January total $2,850. Supplies used. Okay? So here our supplies balance was 4,500, and that's before adjustment. They're saying that supplies used during the month total $2,850. Now, once supplies have been used, that cost now becomes an expense. And we have to record this adjustment in the adjustment section of the worksheet. So on the worksheet, in the adjustment section, we're going to debit supplies expense, $2,850. And in the worksheet adjustment section, we're going to credit supplies for $2,850. Because again, once supplies have been used, their cost now becomes an expense. So for the adjustment, we'll debit supplies expense $2,850, credit our supplies account for $2,850. For our next adjustment, it said expire insurance total $1,025. So notice that we had prepaid insurance of $4,100. What we're saying is that a portion of the prepaid insurance has expired or has now been used. Once insurance has expired, that portion now becomes an expense. So on our worksheet in the adjustment section, we are going to debit insurance expense for the $1,025, and we're going to credit prepaid insurance for $1,025. Your adjustments must always be in balance. The total amount debited for each adjustment must equal the total amount that we're going to credit. Then for our last adjustment for depreciation expense for the month, it said the amount totaled $925. So for this last adjustment on the worksheet, in the adjustment section again, make sure the right section, there we go. We're going to debit depreciation expense for the 925, and we have a new account called accumulated depreciation, which is a contra asset account. The word contra means opposite or against. Normally, your asset accounts increase on the debit side, but this is a contra asset account. It is going to increase on the credit side. So this account I'm going to highlight accumulated depreciation. Its purpose is to show how much of the equipment cost we have depreciated so far, meaning that every accounting period, a portion of the cost of the $45,750 will become an expense. And the accumulated account shows how much of the cost we have depreciated in total. So each month, this account is going to increase by $925. Now, once you recorded all of the adjustments for the accounting period, get a total for your debit column, total for your credit column. Look at there, we balanced. Both columns total $4,800. Okay? So that's how you complete the adjustment section of the worksheet. We're going to come back with a second video and complete the remaining 3 sections of the worksheet. So stay tuned.